This video, I wanted to do a quick comparison of the Torqbar versus the Rotablade Stubby. If you're in the market for a fidget spinner, these are probably two top choices. There's one or two out there that may compete with these, but you're definitely going to be considering these guys. So I want to do a quick comparison. As far as the packaging goes, kind of a toss-up. Torqbar has a really simple little box. It comes with a keychain, which is really nice, and a sticker. You can see this thing will mount into a keychain using that hole there. So actually surprisingly handy. Add some weight to your keys, obviously, but that's better or worse depending on whether you get the titanium model, which is really light, or copper or steel on the heavier side. Rotablade packaging is this tin, so definitely more collectible, nothing too fancy. Just some padding on the inside. As for the units themselves, from a size perspective, Torqbar is more compact. It's not as deep. It's a little longer. On the width side, it's definitely smaller there. It doesn't make a whole, sizing wise, it doesn't make a big difference from one to the other. I feel like the Torqbar sits in my pocket more nicely just because it is just a smaller overall piece than the Stubby. But again, kind of a toss-up on the size. As for the weight, it's really going to depend on which model you go with. The titanium models are always really light. Copper and bronze are heavier. So weight's not really an issue, and lighter or heavier may be an advantage or disadvantage depending on what sort of attributes you're looking for. You could listen to some of the audio videos I put up. You might just prefer how the copper sounds versus the titanium or steel. One nice advantage to the to the Rotablade is that it will spin on your desk. Maybe not something you do all the time, but it seems really cool to me that you can do it. The Torqbar just does not have the height. You can see the buttons are lower than the weight pieces at the end. The Rotablade also sells with this stand. Kind of really don't get the utility of the stand, given that you can just spin it on your desk. But if you want a showpiece, or maybe just have this spinning for a couple minutes without it knocking into something, or I don't know, it's definitely an option. Aesthetically, I would say it's kind of a toss-up. I think the Torqbar is nicer looking. It's kind of just really low-key. Gets a little bit of a patina here because it's more of a natural stone-washed finish versus the machined finish of the Torqbar, of the Rotablade. Torqbar also has a little logo there, which is pretty cool. You can know you're getting kind of the real deal. This is logoless, which may be a nice feature too if you want something a little bit understated. Audio, it's hard to compare one versus the other. Basically, as these things get louder, as they get a little bit of dirtiness to them, some dust and grime build up, and they get a little bit louder. They get a little bit more of a shrill noise to them. This I just cleaned, so it's nice and quiet. And this is dirty. Seems to me that the Torqbar requires less cleaning than the Rotablade, but I've had the Torqbar longer and the Rotablade had not had very long, so it's hard to tell, but it does seem like the Rotablades require more cleaning. As for overall build quality, again, it's hard to say one's that much better than the other since they're very similar products, but I'm gonna have to say I feel like the Torqbar has a better build and feel to me. It's kind of small and solid. where these are maybe a little bit lighter than you might expect. Maybe that's owing to the large size of this bushing piece. Also the bushing here, you could see has some play. That play kind of lets it spin really nice and freely. So it kind of comes with the territory, but it really doesn't seem like there should be that much play. This is a precision piece, and I cannot tighten it anymore. And it still has that play, which I find to be bothersome. This is not perfect. There's definitely some play there, but not as much. As for the bearing quality, can't really tell. Seems like a toss-up to me. And then lastly, I know some people are going to ask about how long they spin. I haven't measured that. I don't really see spin length as being an issue. You're not putting this in your hand and then just like sitting there for 5 minutes on end and waiting for it to stop. So I'm sure other people have documented that. I kind of feel like these are for fidgeting. You're playing with it, spinning it for a little bit, you're stopping it, you're going again. So kind of getting one that you like the feel of and you like the aesthetics of, to me seems way important than just overall spin time. Also, spin time is really affected by how clean these are, how broken the bearings are, that sort of thing. So judging this point wouldn't be fair. Last point in favor of the Rotablade is you can stack them. Basically use this piece to connect two, and then you have a double fidget spinner. It's pretty similar to what you see here, but actually these will be closer together, like that. Again, kind of don't really get it, but with this gets kind of large and heavy and unwieldy, but whatever. It might be fun to accessorize these things a little bit. I have another video on that, so check that out. Anyway, so closing thoughts, I do prefer the Torqbar. They're super hard to get, so may make it a non-issue for some people. And honestly, these spinners aren't too different from one another, so I wouldn't stress out too much if you have access to one but not something else. But all things being equal, I would say the Torqbar is the way to go.